This is Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma, updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Virgo and Virgo rising, welcome to your horoscope for the new moon in Cancer happening on the 29th of June at 12:52 p.m. So if you're wanting to ritualize and manifest and call it in with the spirits and with the sky, then I suggest you do it the day before on the 28th, just so you can experience the darkness. That's all. You can do it during the day on the 29th if you want to as well. That's completely fine. And you're a Virgo, so you probably will, because you like it to be exact. Anyway, so new moon's in Cancer. That's a great time for a Virgo to call in and to ask for what it is that they need in their community, in their greatest sense of what it is to be a human being. You know, it's sort of when they think about humanity at large, when you think about Homo sapiens and all of us little folks trotting around the place, what do you wish for that space? Interesting question at a time like this. I understand that, Virgo, but also, look at it this way. It's a perfect time for you to start making those wishes. I know that it's been incredibly difficult right now to even conceive of humanity because of all the strife that we're all going through right now. It's horrible and it seems relentless. And with the access to so much information from all sides, it seems like a never-ending experience of tragedy. This is where I come in. The new moon's happening at 7 degrees of Cancer in the sky, and the tarot card that correlates with that degree is the Two of Cups. So this is reconciliation right here. This is a beautiful soul contract. This is one meeting the other and a lovely, regenerative, restorative bond that is being built here. There's something very healing about this card. The Staff of Hermes is there, which I think you probably recognize from doctors and hospitals and things like that. So look at this and think about your idea of community. Think about your friends, but also think about, extend it beyond that. You know, think about your neighborhood, think about your state, think about your country, think about your, you know, we all have blood, don't we? So extend these good wishes and these manifestations, these dreams, these hopes and wishes, extend it out to everybody at this new moon, Virgo, because that's your job. This is happening in your 11th house. So that's the appropriate thing to manifest for an 11th house moon, new moon. Now, there is another square that's happening. We're kind of used to them now, but this one's kind of not so bad. It's with Jupiter. So if you remember, Jupiter is our lovely auntie planet. She's the one that sort of comes in and expands and magnifies everything that she touches. She's kind of full of gas and hot air, but, you know, in that lovely sort of gentle, lovely, supportive way. And so she's sitting in Aries at the moment at 7 degrees. So the tarot card for that is the Two of Wands. We've spoken about this degree before in the months gone by, but there is something about that action plan. There's something about going here or there or calling it in and bringing it forth. For you, Aries is in your 8th house, which is the way that we're beholden to other folks. It's sort of contracts, can be soul contracts, really intense sort of stuff in a sexual way, sort of the way that we meld with other souls in that sense. It can be to do with money. It can be sort of like inheritance or taxes or rental contracts, things like that. So there's something around that world. There's something about the plunging in the deep, which is what we do in the 8th house. Something to do with those really intense ideas that you've been thinking about for a while. So there's been something in that area that you've been sort of wishing and hoping and praying about. Jupiter's been there for a hot minute, so it's kind of it's expanding that for you. It's expanding the ideas that you have around like soul contracts. That's probably the simplest way to say it. That's very personal. That's very here. This energy is here. It's out and it's about. So Jupiter's in this moment of manifesting for humanity, for the greater good. Jupiter is gently reminding you to not forget about those things that you were thinking about in the 8th house, those things that you were thinking about in terms of exchange, soul contracts, how we are bonded to other people, how we regenerate a space as well. This is, 8th house is really private and internal. So whatever it is that has been growing for you in your perception of that space, don't let it go in your care for everybody else. That's one thing to do, but we will manifest for the collective on this new moon. So I'm going to keep that astrology pretty simple for these readings because I'm going to keep these cards on the table, but I wanted to really get into the tarot because there's been some lovely messages coming out that I'm feeling it tonight, so I want to continue on that wicket. But Spirit, can you please provide Virgo with some advice here? We've got so much thought and worry and concern for humanity at large. Don't we know it? But there is this lingering road, this journey to map out in the 8th house. Birth and death and sex, and what is this soul contract? How can Virgo keep humanity in mind but still maintain? Wow, okay. I had the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So these are all external energies to you. These are folks in your periphery. These are people, energies that you're going to be mingling with around this new moon, or, like whenever you see this. There's a whole bunch of truth here. There's a whole bunch of information that is directly being given and sort of forced forward. There's also a youthful energy here that has been weaned and supported by very honest people that are in balance with their mind, that have a great mental clarity. And this energy here is somebody that has been weaned that way. So then therefore is like the future. There's something positive about this energy in terms of moving forward with the truth. And then we've got a whole bunch of fire. There's something creative here. There's something burning that needs to be expressed. There's something kind of sexual about the Knight of Wands too. It's a passion that's sort of moving forward. So if we look at these all together, I have a feeling that they're almost, because we have the two knights here, there's something about fast-moving truth and fast-moving messages, intellectual advice, information that's coming forward. And there's also, in tandem with that, maybe this is the Two of Wands that we're picking up on here, there's also something much more fiery, creative, sexual, passionate that's coming as well. They're almost running in tandem together. And it's almost up to this, youth, this page, to stop them in their tracks and to stand up and be the one that will profess the reality of this. So I don't see you in these energies. I think that these are all separate energies here. These are separate people in your periphery. There's one that is sort of like, there's a righteousness here that I'm really feeling, a real righteousness. And then there's passion as well. And they're coming towards you. They're coming towards you as you're trying to manifest with the Cancer new moon and to call in this healing reconciliation, this healing coupling. Maybe it could be something to do with, okay, let's be real here. Is there somebody in your community that you wish to bond with that you haven't for a while, and that there's these energies here in your head are competing? I mean, this is Two of Wands too, but there's competing sort of like, do I just tell the truth? Do I just be blunt, and do I just charge forward and just tell them how I feel? Like, this is, as far as I can see it, this is the truth. This is my truth. I need these messages to come through. Or do I start a fire and come in it that way? Do I come through with confidence and bravado and sort of flirtation? I'm not saying that there's somebody that you want to, bone, but there's someone in your communal space that you really wish and long to reunite with. And I think you both need to put both of these energies down for the moment, because that charging ahead right now, as everyone, like if we think about our community at the moment, like people are gentle, people have to be gentle right now. It's been a hell of a time. So night energy might not be the way to do it. I think there's someone in your space that is almost, there's someone with the message in them that's going to come through. So you don't have to be so, I think sometimes, Virgo, it can be difficult because it can be a sort of, you know the truth as you see it. And so this can sometimes be you, it can sometimes be, there's a bluntness there in that pushing through. What is it that you need to say? Who is it in your community, or what is it that you need to say to your community to snap them out of it? I think that maybe you don't have to do it so much through, through an alternative route like art, or we can sort of sometimes, like, we can dress up the truth sometimes in a costume and sort of bring that forth. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this one, Virgo, because it is not very clear, but maybe it is. Do you feel in some way that you're contracted to another energy in that 8th house soul contract sort of way, that's separating you from your community, that you're absent in that way, and that you wish to bring yourself back or reacquaint yourself with that space, and you just don't know what to say because maybe time's gone on too long, there's been too much time, and so you could just say it like that. You could just say it with like blah, 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 or you could try and find a more creative, cute way to do it. Meditate on this one, Virgo, because I think that no matter what, your community loves you, and that if you're thinking about folks that you haven't seen for a long time, or if you're thinking about a space that you used to inhabit that you don't anymore because of time or because of responsibilities or things like that, I don't think that you need to worry so much about that, because yeah, the page to me is, in some decks, it's the Princess of Swords, which I like. In a lot of ways, this is all of us. This is, from your perspective, you think that you sort of need to be gung-ho about it, but maybe from the group perspective, you don't have to be so brash. You can just be yourself. Don't be lonely, Virgo. I know that that's a hard thing to hear sometimes for a Virgo, because you do like to be alone, but don't be lonely. If you're alone, fine, but don't be lonely. And if there's people that you want to reignite with, then you can do it. You don't have to dress it up in any which way, you know. I think actually if we can put down these nights and you can find that for yourself, then this will happen for you. Yeah. All right, I'm going to leave this reading here. My sands run out. Much love to you, Virgo. New moon blessings. All my very best. Go with that Cancer energy. Go with the heart space. Go with how you feel. If you're needing to do any of this, you know, make sure it's heart-led as you're reacquainting yourself with those that you miss. You can head over to my website if you'd like, umaruby.com. I can give you a private reading, or you can head to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby, and you can tip me because I'm your waitress for this evening. Oh dear. All right, that's all I'm going to say for this one. Much love to you. I'll see you in 2 weeks for the full moon in Capricorn. Take care, Virgo. Bye.